A big Saturday of football in the AFL. I look around the room, the best in the business assembled. They always are. Spud Frawley looking very, very fresh too. Spud, looks like you've had some help today.
A lot of help, JB, and it's been fantastic. We'll get more of that later.
Mick's very welcome, of course, in the Triple M footy family today.
Yep.
We're also going to be just revisiting something that we did about 7 or 8 years ago, which may well be very pertinent to what's going on today at the Collingwood Football Club. Hello, Purple.
Hello, Jim. It does relate to BT, doesn't it? I think what you're referring to there. We've just had a bit of a sneak listen to it again, and
I like it.
Might have something else on BT too later on, Jim. We're just still working on something which is starting to take a bit of shape, actually, and even between now and when we do talk about it, I hope to have some more information across the desk.
You've got your facts right. I'm not dealing
It's
with
not
any
an
of
issue
the
with me,
nonsense.
BT.
I'm
Facts
not
are a
Spud.
starting point.
Yeah.
You can't just walk
Unlike
over me
you.
like you walk over Spud and
You've had
Spud just goes, me brand's strong enough, I'm going to get through this.
You've had a big week, Brian.
What have I?
Midweek.
Actually, you did, BT.
What have you done, Bristol?
Bit of a function out at the Croatia club.
That one's gone wrong for you before.
Now listen, Spud.
Brian.
Got to keep that one a little bit under there.
Apparently, JB, first time we've seen Bristol on the back foot. He was dumbfounded by the audience.
Sworn to secrecy coming out of that gig.
I got a couple of calls about that too, BT.
few-
Wasn't your finest
I
hosting
think
gig.
you've had issues with that function before,
Yeah.
Bristol. It's
I
not...
didn't know it was. I
few
knew I
Union
was going to
troops,
the Croatian
JB.
club, but I didn't know who was at the
A
Croatian
few
club.
heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters. Yeah.
Biggest heavy hitters,
Right.
JB. Probably
Got
names we
Bristol in
won't
the crosshairs.
expose. We wouldn't mention any names of them because they'll be straight in here with a baseball bat.
Oh, no, too, Brian.
I must admit, when I walked back to my car, I thought, would it still be there? As Doug Hawkins said, would it be up on bricks?
We're a couple of your zingers falling a bit flat with them. Right?
Well, as soon as I walked into this particular group, I looked at them and said, there goes 9/10 of what I'd normally talk about, which is myself. They're not interested in me. In fact, I'm not sure what they're interested in. But having seen the table with a bottle of Jägermeister,
Oh, no.
a bottle of scotch and a bottle of vodka on
it.
each table, I thought, shit, this is going to be
Yeah.
some hell of a gig.
Where are
And
we heading?
you were led to believe the whole function was around one guy just in front of you too, Brian, to wanted a
There
bit
wa-
of his time, didn't he, on
There
stage?
wasn't one person there that wasn't dressed in black.
Oh, no.
And, fair to say, it was a fairly dark room. Fairly dark room.
Campbell Brown's a bit filthy too.
Oh, no.
Apparently the invoice wasn't what he expected.
Oh,
JB.
The remuneration wasn't quite up
There's
to
a couple of
Sheets. And interesting, normally Brownie would charge someone down. He just,
Just
went
walk-
out the door with the tail between the legs, said, that'll do, that's okay. I'm happy with 75% less than I came to.
You would have looked after yourself on that front, though, BT. Surely.
Well, I made sure that things were worked out for me. But, I tell you what, it was an horrific,
Apparently, Brian, there was two tails of Chinese that couldn't speak English or understand English as
There was
well.
there was a table of Chinese guys there, and it was all the building industry from around Australia there, and all the heavy hitters that were there. And the Chinese were obviously there because they were ordered to be there.
Yep.
If you want the $100 million deal done, and
That's it.
you be here.
Best you
And,
front up.
funny that I saw them. What are the little shot glasses? I
Yes.
saw them downing shots. They didn't understand a word I was saying or anyone else was saying, and somehow they won the raffle. But
They won the raffle, JB.
well, it was drawn out of a barrel, and
JB.
everyone's a winner.
Was your crisp stuff falling a bit flat on those tables?
I couldn't get any of my stuff to work except for one story about the when I was reported for headbutting, and I was a plumber at this particular. Have you got time for this or not?
Yes, absolutely.
And I was a plumber at the time in Hawthorn, and I come home. It was a Sunday game. I watched the news, and I thought, gee, I did headbutt the guy. Something I'm not proud of. I'm looking at 5 or 6. Anyway, I got a call that night, Sunday night, being a plumber in Hawthorn, from a guy saying, "Can you come and fix my hot water service?" I said, "Sir, it's Sunday night." He said, "But you're a 24-hour plumber, aren't you? That's what you advertise as." I said, "Hang on, mate. I'll just see if I can get on the two-way and get van 23. Van 23, you there? Van 34, you there?" I only had one van. But anyway, I said, "Look, mate, I can't get another van. I'll be there at 8 o'clock in the morning to fix your hot water service." So I roll up, beautiful street in Hawthorn, a tree line, quadruple garages, Mercedes in every garage, lycra clad ladies walking up and down the street. It was a magnificent street. Knocked on the door, and the guy said, I'm not sure whether I should be telling this
Bristol
story. I've
working
got
nicely.
the guy said, "Do you know who I am?" And I said, "No." He said, "I'm the tribunal chairman sitting on your case tonight for headbutting." I said, "Shit, that's a coincidence." He said, not really, do a good job and don't leave an invoice.
So what happened at the tribunal, Brian?
I did both of those and got off on a technicality.
now, JB, I'm led to believe before we get off this topic midweek, Campbell Brown told me. So
Don't take that too seriously out there, you newspaper.
Was that Neil busy?
Now,
I don't know who it was.
Now, Brian, is it true to believe, though, that rowdy that you tried, and we've been there, JB, when the crowd don't listen, Brian gets very short.
He does. He gets very clipped.
For 2 or 3 minutes told them to be quiet in his language, this function. Apparently one gentleman stood up, Brian, and they just went bang.
Yep, they did.
He stood up with the black suit on.
Yep,
the boss stood up, JB.
Quieting him right down, Bristol.
Quieting him down. No one spoke after that. After the boss got up, he stood slowly and just a gentle applause saying, yes, Brian's right. And then did a sort of a 360 in his own footprints and just looked at the crowd and just went,
oh, that'll do.
We'll listen in from now on.
That'll pretty much do it.
They said Mickey Roberts did that function last year and just had no chance of quietening them down.
I reckon he was in a straitjacket for a week, Mick, after that.
No, great guys, great bunch of
very nice.
great bunch of